Welcome to HB Reddit Stories. Today we will see stories of r/am I the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for entering and keeping the prize from a drawing when I'm not the intended demographic? This is honestly just silly. Also, throw away because this is kind of specific and I don't want people I know to recognize it and find my main. I'm 36F, if that matters to anyone. Over the weekend, my town had a Bologna Fest. No, I didn't spell anything wrong. Yes, I'm from a redneck Midwest town. It was kind of a trunk or treat with little games the kids could play. Kinda cute. While my kids were playing one of the games, someone asked me if I wanted to enter a drawing. Why not? So I did. Well, I won. Because the universe wanted a laugh. It was for a perfect date night. This is the part where I mention that I'm divorcing my cheating husband and I'm not dating anyone and have no interest in dating anyone. The prize was a fire pit, a $50 gift certificate to an Italian restaurant, a $10 gift card to a florist, 2 Halloween-themed plush blankets, a nice scented candle, a picture frame, and a box of hot chocolate. The kids and I can enjoy an evening roasting marshmallows over the fire pit. They each got a cute blanket. We all enjoy hot chocolate. The Italian restaurant has a kids' menu, so the 3 of us can go one night. Overall, it's a prize that I can enjoy with my kids. One of my friends, also single, said I shouldn't have even entered and at least should have turned down the prize since it was meant for a couple and I'm happily unattached. She said it goes against the spirit of the drawing. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for keeping a date night prize to enjoy with my kids instead of a partner? Editing in case it makes a difference in the judgment. The whole festival, including the drawing I won, was free. It was something for craft foods and some local businesses to promote themselves. Top comments. Not the a-hole, you were asked to enter a drawing for a prize. You won. Your friend is simply jealous. It sounds like you had your perfect date night. OP replies. Haven't yet, but we will. I literally laughed out loud at the irony, but, F it. You won it, it's yours, use it however you wish. I love that you're spending it on your kids. I hate that people are objecting to you spending it on your kids. Who needs it more, a happy couple, or the kids of an unhappy couple? Not the a-hole. OP replies. It cracked me up, too. Not the a-hole. Heavy eye roll on this. Your friend should stay out of it. No one is entitled to tell you how to use a prize you won, and the fact that it was packaged up as a date night sure as hell doesn't mean that's the only allowable use. It sounds like you'll put the whole thing to good use, which is awesome, but even if you did nothing with it, it's not anyone else's business. It does not go against the spirit of the drawing, and I have no idea why your friend wants to punish you for being single. Next story. Am I the a-hole for laughing at my ex's mother and telling her how much child support I've been receiving? My ex and I parted ways back in 2023. Ever since it happened, the communication with him and his family has been rocky. He was not interested in providing for our child, 6, and I had to apply for child maintenance. He's in debt with them, circa £1,300, and has only paid about £120 in total. I've not been on good terms with his parents. Amongst other things, they asked me not to apply for child maintenance, etc., as their boy cannot afford it, and so on, so you could say we're not the best of friends. Here's where the problem started. They recently found out about quite a few concerts I'm planning to go to. Yes, I'd posted about it on SM, but they have no access to my accounts. I don't know how exactly they found that info. Recently, during child drop-off, my ex's mother got very upset about the concert mumbo-jumbo and started telling me off for making my ex pay child support I just waste on myself and so on. I couldn't hold it in and just started laughing, which aggravated her even more. When she stopped ranting, and I stopped giggling, I told her that her son's child support wouldn't even cover the travel cost of the trip, and they can rest assured that I don't live off of his child support, given that I wouldn't be able to raise my child on that amount, let alone the both of us. I should have stopped there, but I also added that so far we've received approximately £10 per month. Note, I said that without doing the math. Truthfully, it's £11.09 lol, which doesn't even cover the cost of fruit my child eats, so neither of them has any say in how I spend my own money. Note, I'm not sure if it matters, but yes, I work full-time, so I spend my earned money. She called me a liar and stormed off. Now their whole family are upset with me, saying that I was rude and they expect apologies. I was also told that I was an a-hole for telling them how much I actually receive, as it's put my ex in a bad light. My friends are divided too. Some found the situation hilarious and others say that while it was fair to stand up for myself, I shouldn't have told her how much I get in CHM. In my defense, I had no idea it was such a big secret. I genuinely assumed she just didn't care about the amount, and just focused on the idea of me getting any money from them. Also, it's worth noting, my child didn't witness this interaction. She was already indoors. I'm sure it would have gone differently. I would have stopped the rant sooner, with the kid present. So, am I the a-hole for laughing and telling her how much child support I've been receiving? Top comments. Not the a-hole. Sounds like the ex's mom is mixing up child support with concert funding. If she thinks £10 a month should cover anything other than a snack, it's no wonder her son is in debt. A laugh was the perfect response to that nonsense. Maybe if they want a say in your finances, they should start contributing something other than complaints. Not the a-hole. You simply provided an explanation as to how you couldn't live off the deadbeat's child support. Also, he should be seen in a bad light if he doesn't want to support his own child. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not giving away my child's rare backpack? My 13-year-old daughter has been obsessed with Loungefly backpacks for the last 3 years. Everyone has bought some for her. She probably has 50 or so and is constantly showing them off. She has a large following on Instagram and TikTok showing off her bags. I monitor her activities and help her post. She does not even have access to the accounts on her own. My sister Stevie just started dating this man who has a daughter Zoe who is 15. Stevie has had financial issues due to her lifestyle habits. I believe her boyfriend is in the same boat, but both are recovering. However, Zoe has a birthday coming up and Stevie wanted me to give her one of my daughter's bags that she saw on Instagram because it is Zoe's favorite character and the bag has been discontinued. She showed me the price on eBay. It's about $500 and Zoe really wants that bag. The thing is, it was one of my daughter's first bags and she loved that character. It's also my daughter's property and it's not like I can just give away her things. I told her I would split the cost of a new bag for Zoe if that's what my sister wanted, since she's short of funds, but my sister insisted she should give Zoe the rare bag and put Zoe on my daughter TikTok. I told her the TikTok is my daughter's project and I'm not putting Zoe on it. I have this conversation with my youngest children who are 7 and 10. That their sister doesn't have to include them in the video if she doesn't want to. My sister thinks I'm being selfish about the bag and not including Zoe on her famous TikToks. I told my sister she's being ridiculous and we have never even met Zoe and making these demands is ridiculous. My sister said I and my daughter are spoiled and bougie and she will never ask for my help again. My mother understands and sided with my daughter and I, so my sister made a big TikTok about cutting toxic family members off. It's kind of ridiculous of her and I'm not talking to her now, and my mom told her that she needs to apologize for this. My sister acts like I'm bullying her and Zoe, but again, I have never even met the teenager. Top comments. Not the a-hole. It's not your bag to give away. Your daughter doesn't know this girl, and she loves the bag and that character, so it seems unlikely that she would wish to give it away, especially to someone she doesn't know. You were very generous in your offer to split the cost to buy a bag so Zoe could have a bag of her own. Obviously families vary, but I would not have thought that child of your siblings and new boyfriend is someone you would normally expect to buy gifts for, other than perhaps a small gift if they are joining the wider family for Christmas, or if you are invited to their birthday party. Your sister is being greedy and entitled. If her relationship flourishes and your daughter gets to know Zoe, then of course she may choose to include her on Insta or TikTok, but it is bizarre to expect her to endless a random person she's never met. Is your sister normally this unhinged or is this unusual for her? OP replies. Unfortunately, this is normal for her. My sister said I and my daughter are spoiled and bougie and she will never ask for my help again. Well, then it's a win-win for you and your daughter. Your sister doesn't respect you or your daughter. So you just saved yourself half the cost of the backpack you offered to pay for. Not the a-hole. As dumbfounding as I find it for a kid, or anyone, to own 50 backpacks, your sister is obviously being both entitled and ridiculous. Not the a-hole. Where the hell do you store all of these? Opie replies. My husband made a step ladder type thing for her with hooks. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not getting rid of my cats for my pregnant best friend? Throwaway account. I 22F have lived alone since the beginning of this year in a 2B2 bath condo. I have one cat who is my pet, but I also volunteer with a local cat rescue organization. It's fairly often that I temporarily foster cats/kittens anywhere from just one night, 2 weeks at most, until we clear them to be placed in our shelter, or with another foster, or they are adopted. Usually I take in one foster at a time, but at times it's two if they're siblings, bonded, etc. Recently this summer, my best friend, Christy, 23F, moved in with me because she was on very bad/hostile terms with her mom and stepdad who she lived with, and it was safer for her to move out. I of course offered her to stay with me, and she's been in the spare bedroom since. However, last month, Christy found out she's pregnant from her boyfriend. They have a plan to get their own place ASAP, she says, but I truly don't mind if she stays here as long as she needs. Given that she's pregnant, when she told her mom last week, her mom wanted to come over and talk things over. So she came here on Thursday and they talked privately for about 2 hours. When they came out it seemed like it was a good chat and they were more relaxed. But, her mom kinda turned her attention towards me and said, if Christy's going to be living here, you need to do something about the cats. I asked what she meant, and she mentioned toxoplasmosis, the litter boxes, number of cats here, etc., and started getting an attitude towards me and said, you guys should have thought of this already. I let her know we did actually, and there's an extremely low to no risk of toxoplasmosis. I only have one cat, my own, in the main house, who doesn't go into Christy's room. Christy also has zero obligations or responsibilities for my cats. I let her know that the minute she moved in. All litter boxes are cleaned minimum twice daily, and aren't even anywhere near Christy. My cat's litter box is kept in the garage, she has a cat door, and any foster cats I have are kept in my master bathroom. It's a large bathroom and adapted to be safe for a temporary foster. The only interaction Christy has is if she happens to be in the living room/hallway/kitchen with my cat at the same time, so contact is extremely limited. I also want to add, all cats I foster are up to date with vaccines, spayed/neutered, and exclusively indoor cats only. After explaining all this to Christy's mom, I told her that at most I would be willing to possibly limit the fosters I bring in, but I will absolutely not be getting rid of my cat. She told me, well, yours is the biggest risk here. Also, she tried to suggest that I should stop volunteering with cats altogether until Christy moved out or until the baby is born. Christy tried interrupting her mom to calm down because she kept going on about how I'm being selfish, I'm not realizing that she's carrying another life now, not considering the risks, etc., but given their relationship, she was very on edge with her mom, which I understand. I love my best friend, but I will not be getting rid of my pet in my own home that was here before she was. I'm willing to adapt and limit fosters, but I genuinely do not think I'm risking anyone's health here and don't want to stop volunteering. Am I the a-hole? Edit, thank you everyone for the suggestions and educational info. I did my best research as soon as I found out Christy was pregnant, and it was a relief to see so many comments concurring. Secondly, I do thankfully have cameras in mostly all spaces in my home, including front and back entrances. I truly don't believe Christy herself would ever harm or put my cat in danger, but I know crazier things have happened so. Last, Christy is staying at her BFS tonight and we haven't spoken much on the situation. In the little talk we had after her mom left, she was deeply apologetic and did tell me she doesn't mind the cats at all and doesn't feel unsafe. I will be talking to her again tomorrow night about not allowing her mom here given the way she spoke to me and about my animals, and coming up with a more airtight agreement in writing of her living situation here. Top comments. Not the a-hole. As long as she's not scooping the litter boxes, she should be fine. If her mom is so concerned, maybe she should step up and be a better parent to her daughter so she can live with her. Opie replies. Thank you. Christy and I came to the agreement from the get-go that she doesn't need to do anything with the cats whatsoever, as soon as she moved in. So she's as far from the litter boxes as possible because from what I understand that's where one of the most likely risks of toxoplasmosis actually comes from. Not the a-hole, your house, your cat. Her baby is not your responsibility, and as long as she stays away from the litter box she's fine. Sincerely, a pregnant woman whose indoor cat is currently sleeping on her lap. Opie replies. This is the absolute best reply, thank you. Wishing you a wonderful pregnancy, and please pet your cat for me. Not the a-hole. Plenty of pregnant women live with cats and are just fine. I suspect Christy's mom is doing this to pressure her to move back home, where she can then have more control over her daughter. Opie replies. Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. She is extremely controlling, and I think I've been so taken back by how she came at me that I didn't even look at the bigger picture and realize she's likely trying to get her to move back home. Next story. Am I the a-hole for letting my finance sit in the car for 2 hours while I dinner because she was complaining about her hair? My friend invited me, M40, and my fiancé, F36, out for dinner along with another couple. So I asked my finance and she said yes, we should go. My friend made the reservation at a restaurant closer to us so we would not have to drive too far, even though it ended up being a much further drive for him and the other couple. The day of the dinner, she wasn't feeling great, so I told her we didn't have to go and I could cancel, but she insisted we go, so I did not cancel. So it came time to leave for dinner and my finance was struggling with her hair and asked if she could wear a hat. I need to clarify the point about her asking, as several comments have been asked about this particular point. She doesn't have to ask me permission for anything. She is her own person and I totally respect her choices. Normally I am completely against wearing hats inside a restaurant because I was raised to believe that hats at the dinner table are disrespectful, but this place was kind of casual and I really didn't want to deal with waiting around an extra hour for her to do her hair and make us late, so I said yes to help move things along. We drive to the restaurant, arrive just in time and walk up to the door and see the sign that reads, "No hats allowed in the dining room." I kind of laugh to myself and think it's no big deal and we head back to the car so she can fix her hair. We get in the car and she starts having a meltdown saying her hair looks like crap and she needs to fix it. Update because specific question asked a lot. She has long, curly brown hair, not frizzy, but curls can be tough to control at times. Her hair really looked just fine, but I stayed quiet at this point because I'm beyond frustrated that she's actually like a child. After 5 minutes of her trying to fix her hair, she is getting really upset with me. Meanwhile, we're late and my friend has already seen us in the parking lot. I tell her that at this point I have to go inside and she says fine, just go, and she will stay in the car. I go in, explain that she is not feeling well, but I tell them she may join us shortly. So we go on to order drinks. She never shows up, so I order her a bottle of water and bring it to her to make sure she's okay. She seems fine, so I ask her what she wants to do. She doesn't really respond, so I say okay, I'm going back in to order dinner. I ask her if she wants me to bring her anything and she says no. Several drinks and a really good dinner later, about an hour and a half has passed. I tell my friends I have to go even though I really didn't need to at this point because I was really upset my fiancé had completely let me down because she was worried about her hair. I get back to the car and can see that she is enraged and she says that she is humiliated that I would just leave her there. She also can't believe that I didn't help her with her hair and tell her it looked great. At this point, I tell her she is acting like a child and needs to grow up. I proceed to explain that she is the one at fault and she had the choice to go into the restaurant, or just go home and I would have taken an Uber. Several days later, and she is still upset with me. I think she should get over it. Help me out here. Should I tell her she was right or hold my ground? Top comments. Not the a-hole. She basically said screw everyone's plans because her hair wasn't perfect. She's either extremely vain, or extremely insecure, or some combination of the two. Either way, she's immature and selfish. She could have called an Uber home. I'm guessing she sat in the car just so she could play victim. You went above and beyond by catering to her immaturity and bringing her water/checking in. She turned what could have been a nice dinner out into an argument because of hair. Not the a-hole. What a silly reason for staying in the car. You take off the hat, fluff up your hair, go in, and if you feel the need to mention it, apologize for your hair looking a mess and make a joke, and then you just carry on with the evening. She was behaving childishly. Not the a-hole. A grown woman had a 2-hour temper tantrum and chose to pout in the car because her hair wasn't perfect. Were you aware that she was like this before you got engaged? Info. Only because I have a hard time imagining anyone in their 30s acting like this. She doesn't have any medical conditions that are causing her hair to thin or fall out, correct? This is just run-of-the-mill, my hair doesn't look nice stuff? OP replies. Great question and definitely valid, but no medical conditions and she has a full healthy head of hair. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel HB Reddit Stories.